Okay, so for this task, produce at least one dilation image of the given polygon about the indicated center without using the transform options. And I think a student approaching this task in a holistic manner might might measure each side. If you're doing it in a holistic manner, you might measure each side and then multiply that by the scale factor, and just considering the shape as a whole and making the whole thing bigger or the whole thing smaller. This student might be tempted to then just redraw the small figure on the paper again without correct relation to the center, but to just redraw it smaller. An analytic approach to this will focus on maybe just moving one point or moving one segment at a time. And because you're just moving one at a time, the students might tend to get bogged down in moving that one, and moving each one correctly turns out to be tedious to do each one like that. Sometimes the students will get most of them right but miss one and be unable to, and because of that their end picture will be skewed. Then sometimes the student with an analytic approach will be unable to pull back from the picture to say, okay, is something wrong? Did my image end up like I was supposed to have it look? So both of them have their strengths and weaknesses. The reading was saying that students tend to do their thinking in one direction or the other without considering either analytic and not considering the whole picture, or holistically and not seeing really how to break it down. So for this task, oh wait, I was going to say that for this one I have used the midpoint, which is, I've just found the center between, the middle point between the center and each of the points, and then that's how I've constructed this construction here. For center of rotation, produce at least one rotation image of the given polygon about the indicated center without using transform options. So holistically, students might attempt to rotate the shaded area and look for the entire shape to move by that angle. And I think that that makes this the hardest to construct, because if you're trying to move the whole shape at once, it's not immediately obvious how you should do so. Analytically, students might rotate one part of the figure like one point or one segment, and focus on moving just that thing. I think that's better for students because it implies a way towards solving the whole thing. This picture that I've drawn here is not quite right. You can see when I lined it up to 180 that the shape is really stretching. This corner over here at C is not as it should be. So, but this is just an example of what I could do in this program. So great.